Trial watched by millions around the world, ending in a stunning verdict in favor of Johnny Depp. Last week, a jury found that Depp's ex-wife, Amber Heard, had defamed him in a 2018 Washington Post op-ed. She's been ordered to pay more than $10 million in damages. Heard, who plans to appeal, won just one of 3 claims in her counter lawsuit against Depp and was awarded $2 million in damages.
We are grateful, so grateful.
Depp's supporters cheering the verdict, and Depp's lawyers, Camille, Vasquez, and Benjamin Chu, who became public figures in their own right during the trial. Legions of viewers.
I do feel like, again, like that's probably one of the best things that came out of this whole bullshit is the fact that people actually got famous and well known because they're good at their job. It's not because they're island boys. It's not because like they had some fucking video where they acted stupid on the internet go viral. Like it's actually because they're good at their job. You know what I mean? That's a good thing.
It's on YouTube and social media, hanging on every word and gesture.
Ms. Heard has told you that she has mountains of evidence of abuse, but there are no medical records.
Ms. Heard lies.
Right here.
She lies all the time.
Heard's team has alleged a coordinated social media campaign by Depp's side, turning public opinion and ultimately the jury against her.
They went home
it's
every
a conspiracy.
night. They have families.
It's
the families
all a conspiracy.
are on social media. We had a 10-day break in the middle because of the judicial conference. There's no way
and that's
couldn't
whenever
have
the
been
conspiracy happened.
A charge that Depp's team denies, saying the outpouring of support for the actor is nothing but authentic. Depp thanked those supporters yesterday in his first post on a newly created TikTok account, writing, "We did the right thing together, all because you cared."
Well, of course people care. People are sick of seeing bullshit like this happen because everybody's probably... The thing is, like, a lot of people... How many of you guys know somebody who's been, like, affected by some bullshit like this before? Because I do. And that's what happens, right? It's like you have enough people that have been, like, personally affected by it. And it's like they see this situation playing out and they think, oh shit, here we go again.
And joining us now are Johnny Depp's lawyers, Camille, Vasquez, and Benjamin Chu. And a quick disclosure, my husband has done consulting work for the Depp legal team, but not in connection with this interview. So with that aside, let me ask you, did you speak to your client right after the verdict? What was his reaction in the moment?
I think just an overwhelming sense of relief.
Yeah, I bet.
I was speaking with another friend of ours, a mutual friend of Johnny's and ours, and he said, I haven't seen Johnny smile like that in 6 years.
The weight of the world is off of his shoulders. He's got his life back.
As you well know, the law does not favor a plaintiff like Johnny Depp in a defamation case like this. The burden is very high, the threshold is high, and he crossed it. Frankly speaking, were you stunned at this victory? Ben?
Well, we had ultimate confidence in Johnny and the jury and the facts of this case.
Well, everybody knew it was going to happen. Like, I was worried that it wasn't going to happen. My main concern was that, like, there was going to be so much shit that had happened that people would eventually just say, it's a wash, right? But that didn't happen. I was very concerned about it. And Mega Pine's up. Yeah, of course the guy's happy. Like, I would be very happy about that. I would be thrilled about that. Because obviously... It's like his life has been fucked up. Like people, and the worst part about it is like even now, you're going to have a lot of people that still think that he did this bad shit. It's like his life is like, it's like before this happened, nobody thought this about him anywhere. And now, even though he's innocent, still some people that believe it. So you're not walking out of this clean. But it's certainly not, at least you're walking out of it.
And you can only hope that the jury will see it. And in this case,
Amber got recast in Aquaman? I don't believe that.
Overwhelmingly in his favor.
I should mention the jury did find Mr. Depp responsible for defamation for one of the statements made by his lawyer. It accused her essentially of staging a scene in furtherance of an abuse hoax. How do you square that finding with the rest of the verdict?
I think that's fair.
I think it's just... The verdict is overwhelmingly positive for Johnny. And it was unanimous. There were 7 people that decided he was defamed.
Amber Heard's attorney was right here the day after the verdict, and she said the jury had not been permitted to see certain evidence that would have bolstered and verified Amber Heard's claims of abuse, in particular therapist notes. What is your response to that? And was there evidence that was suppressed for a valid legal reason that might have made a difference?
I think that was very disappointing to hear that and to hear her impugn the character of the jury. And the evidence came in that should come in, and that
well,
the judge...
it's like a therapist writing down what you told them happened. Bruh, I don't think that's evidence. I think that's just another person writing down the story that you said. Like, that's not fucking evidence. Are you crazy?
It was very fair to both sides.
In particular, she cites the UK judgment. As we all know, Johnny Depp sued The Sun, a newspaper in the United Kingdom. He lost.
Yeah, I love that. They act like, oh, he lost in the UK against the fucking Sun, so that means that Amber Heard wasn't lying. No, it just means you can't sue the newspaper because the newspaper can print bullshit and somehow it's okay because laws. It's just... How, like, it's just crazy to me. People believe, like, you're so dumb, man.
That case, the judge finding that claims by the newspaper that he was a wife beater were substantially true. Now, Amber Heard's lawyers say that judgment should have come into this court case. What say you?
It was a different process, right? And also, Mr. Depp and Ms. Heard in this case were the parties. They had different disclosure obligations. So we disagree. The overwhelming evidence that was presented in this case in Virginia far exceeded what was presented in the UK, and we believe the jury got it right.
As you know, this trial was...
Well, it's the UK. We don't live there. Yeah, we don't live there. Like, there's a lot of things that, like, that's not how it works over there. What the fuck are you talking about? Newspapers have power too? Yeah, of course they do. Like, I'm sorry, but it's such a dumb argument.
Very closely watched. Social media certainly took off in a way that we've seen high-profile trials before, but this is the social media age.
Yeah,
do you believe the jurors saw any of that, were swayed by any of that?
No, I don't think there's any reason to believe that the jurors violated their oath. And again, that suggestion was
I think that there's a chance that they could have seen it, but I mean, like, is it a chance? Like, here's really what the statement is that she's saying. Is that she's saying that the jury went on social media and changed their opinion because of social media. That's very different than just seeing content. Like, I would easily assume that people in the jury probably saw a few meme videos or, you know, a few posts on YouTube or TikTok or Twitter about the case. Sure, yeah. But did this cause them to change their opinion? I don't think that you can say that. Those are two completely different fucking things.
Pointing to here.
Yeah, I mean, Amber Heard's lawyers said so. She said it would have been unavoidable because it's on TikTok, it's on social media. I mean, in the old days, you'd tell the jury before they went out, don't read newspapers, don't watch the evening news. Now it's everywhere.
It is everywhere, but at the same time, they were admonished every single...
What do you mean, like, it's everywhere? Like, a newspaper... How is the newspaper not ever... Like, bro, like, I hate whenever I wake up and TikTok's just there. You have to open up the app. You have to open up the app, like, go there, look shit up, try to find it. Like, what are you talking about, man?
Night. And they had a tremendous amount of respect, I think, for the court and the process, and they were doing the best that they could.
That's just nuts.
Support for Johnny Depp online was exponentially greater than for Amber Heard. Just one example on TikTok, the Justice for Amber Heard hashtag has 27 million views. Justice for Johnny Depp, 20 billion.
Wow, that's literally 1,000 times more. Why am I not surprised? So, yeah, the reason why 20 billion, that's a lot of people. No, it's the reason why, and probably half of the views for the Amber Heard one are people that think it's dumb. Like, you've got to keep that in mind. Like, we searched that hashtag because it was dumb.
Attorneys have suggested that perhaps this is because of an orchestrated campaign on behalf of Johnny Depp. Do you know anything about an online campaign on behalf of Johnny Depp?
That is utterly baseless. In fact, very early in the case. Well,
it's as I said, I think that the best analogy to this is the flat earth. Man, there are so many people that believe that the earth is round. There's only a few people out there that believe it's flat. There must be a conspiracy for why so few people believe the earth is flat. All the fucking people, all the globetards, they're the ones that, you know, there's some big fucking mafia of people that are believing this. It's crazy. Of course there's going to be a disproportionate amount of people that believe one side if there's a disproportionate amount of evidence. It's the same thing with, it's the exact same thing with like George Floyd, for example, right? And I know this is going to trigger some, shut up. Listen to what I'm saying. Overwhelmingly, everybody was against Derek Chauvin. Everybody saw the video and they thought to themselves, this guy looks like a fucking asshole, and I think he had something to do with killing the guy. Everybody saw that. They saw it right there, and there wasn't a lot of evidence otherwise, so most people thought he should be guilty. Was that a conspiracy? No. That was just common fucking sense.
The prior Chief Judge White had thrown out
Stay on the earth analogy? Why? Because I'll trigger you.
Related to that. It was absolutely absurd and baseless.
And you know for a fact that neither he nor his agents nor anyone tried to, in some way, pay for or otherwise encourage this kind of social media activity.
Categorically false.
Why do you
people try to pay for anything like that? I'm sure there are people that try to promote Johnny Depp, but he paid for it is just too much, man. It's way too fucking much. And it's just assuming that like that shit happened. Oh, they paid for positive social media footage. See, like that's just stupid in itself, because if there's a lot of people that believe something, wouldn't putting out content for the people that believe it be more profitable? So couldn't you just assume that people that are putting out content that's positive for Johnny Depp are doing it out of their own self-interest without it being funded like externally? Like, it's just, you think about this for 3 seconds and it's just like any direction you spin it in is stupid. The media was against Johnny the entire trial? Well, I find it to be very interesting. You say the media was against Johnny the entire trial. Remember whenever like that woman said that it was 27 million to 27 billion? That is the distortion the media presents. Is that it distorts the world in a way that it looks like 1,000 is a 1-to-1. 1,000 to 1 is the same as 1 to 1. It's a massive fucking distortion of reality. Never trust the media. Only, like, you have to trust something, right? But you should always cross-reference and verify things, and don't just believe something because somebody says it. Don't trust things because certain people that you think that you can trust are saying them. Look into it for yourself.
The jury didn't believe her, because when you look at the verdict, it really comes down to that. The issue was, is what she's saying true or false? And by their verdict, they said, yeah, it's false.
Well, my sense is that it had a lot to do with accountability, that Johnny owned his issues. He was very candid about his alcohol and drug issues. Yeah. He was candid about some unfortunate texts that he wrote. And I think it was a sharp contrast to Ms. Heard, who didn't seem, or at least the jury may have perceived, that she didn't take accountability for anything.
As you know, this has been closely watched, and in the Me Too context, some people have wondered whether there is a larger resonance to this trial, whether it sends a message. Do you see any larger message beyond the case you tried?
No. I mean, frankly, we don't. We're here to talk about the case that we tried, right? We encourage all.
Yeah, it's like they don't want to. Like the thing is, like they're not going to come up here and like try to make a political statement or some shit, right? Like that. Really, there's no reason to do that. Like, why would you? Because at that point, now you're entering into a realm that expands beyond your expertise. You know what I mean?
To come forward, have their day in court, which is exactly what happened in this case.
Do you feel confident in your appeal? Ms. Heard does intend to appeal.
We feel very confident that there are no errors that would justify any kind of successful appeal.
And then finally, I have to ask you, not since OJ, perhaps, has the trial been so closely watched and the lawyers become famous people in their own right. What has that been like for you, particularly you, Camille? I think I saw someone on social media get a tattoo of your face on their body, which is weird.
Yeah.
It's been overwhelming and surreal, but to the extent that I can encourage young women to stay in school and maybe inspire them to pursue a legal career, then it's all worth it.
Yeah, I would say so, because at least you're inspiring them to do that. Then like, oh man, so what I need to do is I need to get plastic surgery and start an OnlyFans, or I need to get a bunch of tattoos on my face, color my hair like I look like a clown, and then start rapping. You know what I mean? I don't need somebody trying to fucking cosplay Sideshow Bob, talking about being an island boy. Thank God that's the case.
Well, I understand you got a promotion yesterday to partner.
Well deserved.
I was going to say, about time, other partner, right? Camille Vasquez, Ben Chu. Just saying. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing for her, especially because she's pretty young.
Our YouTube.
She definitely is pretty young for that to happen to her. Absolutely. Yeah, congratulations for her. And yeah, absolutely. Watch the Ben interview. It's a long one. I don't know if I want to watch the whole thing. How long is it? If it's a short interview, I'll watch it. But if it's not, she's 37. I mean, but Ben's probably like 60 or like 50, right? I mean, that's a lot more. It's 82 minutes. That's a lot. What's this here? It's only 5 hours. It's 12 minutes. Where it be at? Where it be at? We watch that one, then I'm good. And I want to watch the Diablo Immortal video. Like, I've wanted to watch this all day. I've wanted to watch it for 3 days, and I want to get into it. 37. I have no idea. Top right. Is this it? I'm pretty sure this is not it. I'll watch it. Okay, maybe it is.
I've watched this trial from day one, whether I was in the courtroom or watching on Law and Crime. I was watching you and Johnny sitting together.
All right, we'll watch it. We'll watch it real quick, and then I'll watch. I have so much to say about Diablo Immortal. Like, I'm probably, oh my God, like, there's so much for me to get into with this. 2 minutes, super fun. Amber Heard, nothing wrong. No, I'm not gonna watch that shit. Like, the thing is, to me, like, I'll watch this and then I'm pretty much done unless they have new content. Get over Diablo, bro. I actually can't. I literally can't get over it. Like, I'm so upset about it. And I'm not even upset about the game. Like, the game is like, it's whatever, right? I'm upset because people think things.
Entire trial.
All right, here we go.
Okay, watching your interaction between them was just, I wanted to be a fly on the wall to know. I know you can't reveal attorney-client privilege, of course.
That's right.
Can you give us any insight into what it was like sitting next to Johnny, your client, throughout this trial, listening to the witnesses together, what that was like?
It was so much fun. Johnny is so smart, he's so insightful, and he's so funny. So there are many times when I'm trying to listen carefully to the witnesses as he was, and he would make such a funny comment that we would have to laugh. And it, in a way, it had a great impact on me and the rest of the team, because if this guy whose life is on the line he took it very seriously, but if he can find humor in what has been a tragedy for him, I mean, we can get our act together and we can keep pushing. So it actually was really great for morale.
Yeah, I think
and
so.
He, you know, we all really believed in him. He's a great guy to work with, and we really wanted to help him win.
It's like the one time, like, you ever be in a raid and there's like a guy that, you know, you wipe and he's like not molding and it's like, oh, thank God he's here. The gilded fall apart.
Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. This is where we break down the biggest moments in the day's biggest cases. I'm Jesse Weber. So yes, I had the incredible opportunity to sit down with Ben Chu.
Well, I thought those were dildos. I did. Like, for a second, like, as soon as I saw this, like, man, bro, like, shouldn't you put that shit away before you start the video? Like, for real, like.
For those of you who are slightly unfamiliar with Mr. Chu, because a lot of the attention was put on Camille Vasquez, Depp's attorney who questioned Amber Heard, Chu is the guy who sat next to Depp every day. Whenever you saw a clip of the courtroom and you saw Johnny Depp, the guy sitting next to him, that was Ben Chu. That's one of his main attorneys. And, you know, they were whispering, they were sometimes joking around. You mean, you heard it himself. In fact, there was a viral video of Depp kind of drawing this doodle and passing it to Ben Chu to observe. If you look online, I'm sure you can find it.
Yeah, I saw.
But on a more substantive level, Chu was not only sitting with Depp, he questioned key witnesses, he argued important motions, and he delivered parts of the opening statement and closing argument. So he was an integral part of Johnny Depp's team. And what's interesting about him, and the same thing could be said for Camille Vasquez, is that during the course of the trial, they became celebrities. They became rock stars. I mean, if you look online and you just use the hashtag Ben Chew, just see what you get. See how many people have posted
people are
about
popping
Ben
off
Chew.
about this. 100%.
When I covered this trial in Fairfax County, Virginia, I remember there was a point. This was actually during the deliberation.
We're going to skip ahead a little bit to the part where he's actually talking with them, okay?
For doing interviews like the one he did on our network. So I asked Ben Chew what he thought about all this, and here's what he had to say.
All right.
I'm sure you've seen Elaine Brederhoff's comments after the verdict saying that the jury was tainted by the publicity, that there was suppressed evidence. What's your reaction to that?
I was really disappointed to hear that because she's a very good lawyer, very experienced, and it seemed to cast aspersions on the jurors' integrity because, as you know, they took an oath not to watch social media, and there's no reason to believe that they didn't.
Well, of course
so to hear such a baseless claim was disappointing.
And what about the idea of suppressed evidence?
See, in her mind, like, if you lose, it can't be because of you, right? It's all rigged.
That was absurd. I mean, as you know, there are rules of evidence, and both sides had evidence that was excluded for proper evidentiary reasons.
Before you came on to do some interviews today, Amber Heard's representative came forward and said this was unprofessional, it's a victory lap. I want to give you the opportunity to respond to that.
Yeah, again, I mean, this is kind of a case of a pot calling a kettle black because Ms. Brederhoff went on some of the morning shows the day after the verdict to put her spin on it. So if she has a problem with that, then she should look in the mirror.
No love lost there. I think that's pretty clear. Now, he also admitted something that was very, very interesting. You know, we dedicated a sidebar to the question of, well, how is Amber Heard going to pay the $10.35 million damages award, the judgment to Johnny Depp? One of the questions I posed in that episode, and it's a question I keep posing, and I even asked Chew about it, is it possible that Depp will waive the judgment and not enforce it?
I'm going to just skip.
Curiously, Chew admitted to me that for Depp, it's not about the money. It was about getting his life back. It was about getting his reputation back. So while he wouldn't outright say it, and, you know, he waiting online at 1 a.m. to get tickets, it's when the social media interest in this case absolutely grew. It all started with Johnny Depp taking the stand. And for a plaintiff in his position, testifying to the world that he's not an abuser, that Heard publicly lied about him in a national publication, him taking the stand is a very big deal. So I asked Chew about this, what was going on behind the scenes, and were you or anybody on the legal team concerned?
We were nervous in the sense that he writes he writes his scripts when he is performing roles. And this is no different. I mean, we had suggestions, as any attorneys would, but ultimately what he says is all in his own words. So,
basically he was worried about Johnny going up there and making an ass out of himself and making his fucking job harder. I think that's fair. I feel like, I could see why you'd be worried about that. Yep, for sure. That's fair.
We strongly believe that he was going to be consistent with everything and truthful. And so in that sense, we weren't that worried about him. And he didn't have to be reminded about dates and events. I mean, his memory is quite clear.
Yeah, he remembers what happened.
About what happened and what did not happen. I thought he was terrific.
Important.
And what about under cross-examination by Benjamin Rottenborn? It got tense at times. What were your thoughts on how the cross?
Well, our main concern, as with any witness, is that he not lose his cool, because we knew that they would come at him with a male, and in this case, Ben Rottenborn. So when we practiced, we had one of our senior attorneys, Wayne Dennison, come in and play the role of attack dog. And so
oh, shit. So, of course, Johnny didn't get mad. They put him up against, that guy. Holy, the anti-wizard. Yeah, no surprise.
I think Johnny was prepared for that, and I think he kept his composure
Yeah, he's not worried at all.
I think you did a very good job.
This was a torturous few minutes as that we all waited for the jury to fill out the form and come back ultimately with their verdict.
Anti-wizard, yeah.
But I did ask him ultimately about the moment of the verdict. And you know what? Him describing it was a moment in and of itself, because as he explains, he got a bit choked up. Take a listen.
You hear the verdict, a win on each one of Johnny Depp's claims. What was your reaction?
It was emotional. I mean, we were so thrilled for him. That was great. And it was a great moment.
Well, it's also like, it's a big deal because like everybody probably, it's a tremendous success. Like you have to think about it like in his life, like this is a big fucking deal, man. Like I think anybody would be emotional over that.
And did you feel,
yeah,
I know you can't say what you spoke to Johnny about, but if you can give any kind of insight into what that initial conversation was, the verdict comes out, how happy he must have been.
He was euphoric, and he looked, I mean, he always looks great, but to me, he looked 10 years younger. I mean, he looked like the weight of the world is off of his shoulders. And one of his longtime friends said, and it was really moving to us, is that he hadn't seen Johnny smile like that in 6 years. So
that's about
that
the
made us very pleased and very gratified.
Wow. And the counterclaim that Amber Heard's side won, what was your reaction to that?
It was consistent in the sense that it suggested to us that the jury really took a lot of time considering all the evidence. And obviously we're not privy to the deliberations, but they found no liability on the two statements by Mr. Waldman that said her abuse allegations were a hoax. But they found liability on a more convoluted statement, which implicated a number of her friends and their activities on the night in question, which is May 21, 2016, when the police came. Police found no marks on her face. Mr. Waldman was making suggestions about what other people were doing.
Yeah, that's why
he got there was less proof in the record about that,
about other people
from the testimony of those friends. So in that sense, it wasn't a total surprise. And in the context of the entire verdict, we think it was overwhelmingly in favor of Mr. Depp.
It's a big good.
Wow. Wow. You know, there's something to be said here. You put aside the law, you put aside the celebrity, you put aside all the details, the drama, everything. This was something different because, and this is really something that could be said for Amber Heard's attorneys as well. These are lawyers across the board who really care about their clients. These are lawyers who invested the time, the emotion, their lives into this case. And when the verdict is read, they felt it. I think Ben Shue made that.
I fucking bet. I mean, it's like you spend your fucking year of your life dealing with this shit and you find out you won. Like, I think that would feel really goddamn good. Yeah, they're getting paid good. Yeah, they're making a lot of fucking money. They're gonna get a bunch of other clients after that. It's all wins. It's all positives. Look at the everybody keeps wanting me to look at this shit about Aquaman. I don't know about this. I don't know about this bullshit. Let me look and scroll down. I'm not seeing anything. Like, if it was on there, it would be on there. It's not on there, so I don't see it. It's probably not on there. That's it. Yeah, it's not there. I don't see it. And Magpie for everybody, yeah, I think it's a rumor. Type Amber recast. Bro, like, until I actually find... Like, I saw that there were rumors about it. Yeah, that was like last week. I'm not going to look at that shit again. Like, they said it was going to happen. Who knows if it's going to happen? They're going to cut her scenes? Well, then I want to have a confirmation of that, man. That's all there is to it. It's a rumor. They confirm, they publish it, then link it to a mod. Then a mod will link it to me, okay? All I'm saying, obviously, this was great. I was glad this happened. I think that a lot of people were. And thank fucking God. Are they going to have another trial about this? I personally don't think so. I feel like there might... I'm fully expecting to watch at least 2 or 3 more Amber interviews. Because I don't think this is going to just be over and done. Yeah, it's not going to be over and done. She's going to keep going. She's going to keep fucking talking about it and doing that stuff, right? More serious meaning repeating on it now? Yeah, I'll wait till we actually get real evidence, okay? That's about it. If it retrials, Amber could get a lot worse fine. I think so, too. And, yeah, absolutely.